Welcome to Missing on Monday, where the details of a new missing persons case will be explored each week. Some of the content covered may be sensitive. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, Missing on Monday.
We are back. Happy Monday.
Happy freaking Monday. We are here
like
with another story.
Every Monday.
It's
like happy freaking Monday. And it cracks me up because it's like
it's
the
never
vibe.
our Monday.
It's
a vibe.
But it's a vibe. It's how it feels. I'm literally covered in black paint. Dear listeners, we are painting our doors black, and that's why I'm covered in black paint right now. So I'm a little scatterbrained. But we are back. We have a new story. And this one is a little bit shorter than our normal stories, but
recent.
Very recent. And we're going to have a little chitty chat at the end of this because it would seem that there are some things that I do not know about true crime that Candace is going to fill me in on, and potentially you as well. So here we go. So today we are going to talk about a woman named Missy Hernandez who went missing in California recently. And mind you, while we were in the middle of researching this, there was a huge break in the story, like a huge update in her case. So Missy also goes by the name of Missy Perez. She is 30 years old, 5'5", and weighs 130 pounds. She has brown eyes, black hair, and she also has several really distinguishing tattoos on her arms and legs. She's kind of one of those people that's very hard to miss out in public, if you feel me.
I love that.
You too, kind of. You have some pretty distinguishing tattoos.
When I'm not wearing long sleeves because we live in Washington.
Right. But every summer I remember that you have tattoos and I'm like, oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you have.
That's right.
Okay, I forgot.
I forget that I have a tattoo because I never can see it. It's on my back.
The one that I cannot see, it is fine that I forget about it until I see it like in a picture and I'm like,
like, oops, that might have been a mistake.
That happened.
Anyways, so if you take a look at Missy's Instagram, which we will link in the show notes, you can see her photos. You can see the tattoos. They're pretty awesome. She also has a 12-year-old daughter and is a big animal lover. She's got 9 hairless cats and 1 dog.
This whole hairless cat thing, okay.
I feel like it's a niche. Like people who like hairless cats.
I've actually heard that they have like incredible personalities.
That's what I've heard too.
And you know, being a cat owner,
cat.
I don't know.
Like,
but you know, being a cat owner, like your cats have personalities, but they're also super independent.
Yes.
I have heard that like hairless cats, for some reason, I don't know what and I could absolutely be wrong. Maybe they are independent as well. But I've heard that they are like way more
like bigger personalities
oriented, and they like
like dogs
want their people more. Maybe it's because they don't have hair and they like need you to keep them warm. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you could be right.
I don't know.
Anyway,
so all you hairless cat owners, let us know. Is that true? Is it they
I would
actually
love to know.
Do want you more than a cat that has hair? Tell us, because we want to know. We have nothing against them. I think that they're just so interesting. I've honestly never met one in my life.
Curious minds need to know. So Missy has those 9 hairless cats and 1 dog, and she regularly appears in the public eye. I just want to back up, like 9 hairless cats and 1 dog. And I don't want to get stuck on her animals for too long, but
we do love the animals.
We do love the animals, and I want to know what kind of dog it is. I wasn't able to
I
figure
was
that
just
out.
Gonna say, what kind of dog is it if she has 9 hairless cats?
Right. Is it a hairless dog? Is that a thing?
No, I don't think that's a thing. I feel like it's probably a smaller dog.
But or maybe it's one giant dog, like a Great Pyrenees that snuggles with the hairless cats because it's so furry.
Or it's like a Great Dane.
Great Danes are
Who
short
knows?
haired.
Listen, we're all just we
Major
are literally
speculation.
we are creating animals for her. Let's not do that.
We're
I'm
creating
sure
a whole
I do want
story
to know
for
what kind of
her.
dog she has though when she has 9 hairless cats.
I definitely do too. All
If
right.
at any point we do actually get an answer to that, we will update you on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll post it on our story for those who need to know. So she has a daughter. She's an animal lover, and she regularly is appearing in the public eye. She was last seen on December 7th, 2021, around 10 p.m. in the Fresno area. She was at some kind of an event. It was really unclear. A friend of hers posted that she had just recently left a sesh, and I don't know what kind of sesh that was. I don't know if it was like an art sesh, if it was a smoke sesh. I don't
Tattoo
know what
sesh?
it could, tattoo sesh. Who knows? It could be anything. So I don't know what she was doing there,
Well, and she
but
is very artsy fartsy. Like not fartsy, sorry. Very artsy.
yes.
Okay.
She was wearing a gray long sleeve shirt, a lightly colored Christmas themed beanie, blue bell bottom jeans, and black boots.
So she was out and about at some event that we're not exactly sure what that is. She was
A
with her
sesh.
yes, a sesh. She was with her boyfriend, Raymond Jimenez. Her friends reported her missing the very next day. That's really fast. When they had not heard from her, because obviously she is very much in the public eye, they had not heard from her.
Well, and it kind of sounds like all of these vendors, because she would go and sell her jewelry and stuff. And it sounds like these vendors were used to seeing her frequently. And she bounced back and forth between places, but she was a pretty regular person at all of these art shows. So I'm assuming that when she wasn't seen or heard from after what was possibly an art show or an event or something, it was out of the norm because she was in with those people.
So I'm only going to ask you this because obviously, if our listeners don't know, me and Ashley trade stories.
We do.
Like we don't ever
We
research
don't
stories
research the
together.
same story.
We do them separately. So I'm asking you, these events, things that she does, are they like in our town we have like a farmer's market, or we have like the night market that you can go to?
I think it's kind of like that, like a street fair type
Yeah, that's what I
art
was
vendor.
thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
stuff like that, because she creates, but she also sells crystals with
Okay.
the ones that, give you energy and positivity and all those kinds of things. So
Okay, I love
she's
this.
a vendor for that. And it sounds to me like it's very much that scene. Other vendors are
I
also in
can
that same scene.
absolutely visualize this. And when you are used to seeing somebody, let's say if you're a vendor at a market and you go every single Saturday or something like that, and there's a booth next to you that's there every week and they're supposed to be there and they're not there, you form these friendships and stuff.
Exactly.
You know. So police said that they went to the location where she may have been last seen, but there was no sign of her. The police also did not give specific details about where she was last seen, only that it was in the Fresno area. I'm assuming it has to do with their investigation, how they do. They also said that the circumstances of her disappearance are considered to be suspicious. Family told the police that Missy is from the Los Angeles area, but was also known to travel between LA and Fresno. Obviously, police are asking the public to be on the lookout for her. And because this girl is, if you see her, you probably notice her.
Yes, she's not easily missed. And there was a Facebook post that I was reading that was asking people to be on the lookout for her in several different cities. So it sounds like likely what she was doing was popping from street fair to street fair selling her jewelry.
Like between Fresno and LA.
So it's possible that she was expected at a street fair the next day and didn't show. And that's what alarmed her friends. And this is total speculation because, of course, we don't know. The circumstances and the details of this case are still a little under wraps because it is so recent.
Can we get, actually, I guess I could look right now. I know California is a little bit different because it is like so much highway.
Mm-hmm.
And Los Angeles is so big. I'm just curious what the, you know me,
Distance
my
between
distances. You already know.
LA to Fresno.
Let's see, create route.
Oh, it's a 3-hour drive.
Actually, oh, okay. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking like maybe like hour and a half or so.
No, that's a huge.
So that means
distance.
that she is probably traveling.
Yeah.
It would be like it would be like from here to Portland.
Yeah.
You would be doing a lot, like there's lots of different places that you could be setting up shop at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry for that veer, but I thought it was needed.
So Missy was described by family and friends as a very artsy person who was carefree. She loves to have fun. She actually went to John H. Francis Polytechnic High School, which is a really cool and distinct kind of school. I looked it up and it seems like more of a trade school where you can learn trades and specialties in the arts while also doing your English, social studies, math. But it gives you this, I almost want to say it's like isn't it Running Start where you take college classes in high school?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but you can take classes for an artsy kind of trade.
Why don't
it's
we
really
have
cool.
this like everywhere?
I know. So the name Polytechnic, poly means many and technic means arts. So it's literally a thing, Polytechnic High School. I guess it's in California, and which honestly, that doesn't surprise me because California does have really cool stuff like that.
They do.
But I am surprised that Seattle doesn't have something like that.
Well, I mean, they have the Art Institute, but it's not
a high school though.
Like that's what is like.
I've never heard of a high school that's like a trade high school.
Yes. Like I could see Brie doing something like that when because she's loves the arts and stuff. Like that would have been something cool for her to.
Right. Something to do.
Total side note. It's really cool. I think they should have things like that in more places.
Me too. Call the authorities, someone. So Missy would frequently
I was gonna say, let's blow up our local government with some more shit.
Yeah, right. Because they
are not hearing enough.
They don't have enough right now.
Exactly.
So Missy would frequently go to the Fresno area's pop-up art fair scene where, like we mentioned earlier, she would sell crystals and other similar items. And she was known really well by the local vendors and residents. And if you take a look at her Instagram, the description says, being kind is the most beautiful thing in the world, which really gives you an insight into her soul, beautiful soul. And I honestly think a lot of people who are in the crystal scene are that way. I know a lot of people that work with crystals and have the meditation, and they just generally seem to be, they seem to be kinder people.
I know one in particular, and she is, I literally have never even actually met her face to face, but she's, I want to say one of the kindest people I've ever met, but like I haven't actually met her. She's just so sweet.
One of our listeners, actually, the person who won our giveaway, Carly, she has crystals and works with another friend of mine, Michelle. They have a business together where if you look up Carly's Instagram, I can tag it in the show notes because she's actually a really loyal listener. And I would love for you guys to go and support her small business as well.
Is that where you went to that, like the Women's Day retreat? Remember when you met us out at the property?
It was Michelle and Carly.
Okay.
Okay.
that put on that retreat. It was,
Okay.
I think it was the summer solstice,
Mm-hmm.
like girl event.
Yes. And it was
amazing.
literally between here and the property.
Yeah, it was so cool. And that's what, they put on this whole event for women to come and like have self-discovery and clear their minds and find peace and talk about things and just find connections. And I feel like that's very common in this community of people.
Yes.
So Missy's Instagram displays a lot of different kinds of crystals and jewelry that she made from crystals. It's beautiful. You can check out her Instagram. We'll link it. It's at 3_hearts_intuition. She also has a lot of boomerangs that you can watch on her reels. And then there's a couple of videos too. I found myself really drawn to watching videos of her. And I guess that's one of the things about this story being so recent is her Instagram is very active. She had Snapchat. There's a lot of social media presence for her. And a lot of times with people who are missing or have been missing for years, you don't really get that.
And
But
this
when you
is
look
all
through,
stuff that's been
like super recent.
Mm.
If you look through her tagged photos, basically what you're going to see is a girl who is loving life, living life to the fullest, and she just likes to have fun.
While doing a deep dive on the internet, we found that Missy's boyfriend wasn't really a person that was very well liked. It seemed as if he was maybe a little bit abusive. But when they were in public together, you would never know it. It happens far too often.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of Missy said, I met her boyfriend once when they were a vendor at one of our art shows in August. He seemed charismatic and was happy and smiling. Both him and Missy gifted me and my boyfriend a crystal necklace and bracelet at the end of the show. It's crazy thinking you can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't trust some of these people who hurt you. She said men. I'm saying people because
It's people. So the Fresno County Sheriff's Office, again, are saying that Missy's disappearance is suspicious. They don't specify why, which leads us to believe that they know something that they can't share with us. However, Tony Body, a spokesperson for the Fresno County Sheriff's Office, said that Missy is a very social person who is out in the public view regularly. So for her to not be responsive or seen is considered unusual. There's something definitely gone wrong. And we're again looking for answers at this point. So then Missy's sister, Daisy, who actually lives in Texas, came up to Fresno to look for her sister. She went around putting up flyers, making sure that people know that Missy is out there somewhere. Daisy said, I felt very anxious, worried that she's out there somewhere and she needs help. We're wanting her to come home. We need answers. I think we all deserve to know where she is at or what happened. Her friends and family say that she was popular, got along with everyone, and that's why they're shocked that she just disappeared without a trace right before Christmas. Mind you, she's got a 12-year-old daughter. I can't even imagine how her family was feeling, how her daughter was feeling. I think anybody who's had any kind of family trauma can kind of relate to that feeling of despair that is so intensified around the holidays.
absolutely. I mean, anything happening around the holidays is hard. I mean, anything that doesn't happen around the holidays, even when the holidays comes around,
It's still harder.
it's hard because
Yeah.
you're dealing it's like those tidal waves,
Yeah. Like you're supposed to be feeling joy and you can't.
There's like this aching feeling in the
Mhm.
back of you, and then like I feel like from what we have learned about her, I don't think that she would intentionally disappear right before Christmas.
No.
Doesn't seem that way. And here we go. This is where the story takes, unfortunately, a really sad turn. So on January 11th, 2022, Raymond was arrested for the murder of Missy Hernandez. despite the fact that they have yet to recover a body. Authorities say 41-year-old Raymond Jimenez was initially arrested on December 8th on charges related to a previous domestic violence incident against Missy last October. And because of this, detectives named him as a person of interest in her disappearance. A judge held Jimenez without bail for that domestic violence charge while the investigation into Missy's disappearance continued. Sheriff's officials say detectives later found forensic and digital evidence indicating some sort of violence attack had occurred at Missy's house. Can I just say, I know so much of the time we're like, WTF, law enforcement.
This judge had the foresight to put this man in jail without bail because of his previous domestic violence charges against her. And that enabled them to arrest him for this crime. Whereas he could have easily bounced if they hadn't done that. And so
he would probably be gone.
yes, absolutely.
Most likely he would have been gone. If he was already facing stuff that had to do with domestic violence about her and she goes missing.
So something interesting to note in Fresno specifically is that there are 330 missing people reports per month, and only 3 officers are assigned to deal with them. That is 110 missing human beings per month. That's
for
more
one
than-
person to look into.
For one person to look into. That's more than 3 people per day.
But then also what happens after a month?
And then more.
Right.
And more. And
right.
more.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that the law enforcement was able to, they had a very good grasp on this situation, I feel. We don't see that very often. So props to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what gets me about this case is that law enforcement was able to convict a man of murder without a body. I'm not sure what forensic and digital evidence means or what they found, but obviously it was enough to arrest him for murder without a body, which means it must have been something absolutely awful. And I, for the life of me, I cannot think of what that would be. It's mind-boggling to me that as of right now, Missy Hernandez is still a missing person, but also her boyfriend has been convicted or will be convicted of murder. Please explain.
I mean, I don't have necessarily an explanation for that. In all honesty, here's the thing. Is the state, the county, whatever, it is super hard to convict somebody of murder without a body. I was just trying to look up the numbers, like in my off time when I'm not searching for missing people and like all that, like I,
she's watching murder documentaries.
Basically. I have an obsession with serial killers. It's probably not healthy, but it's I like it. It is rare that they try to convict somebody for murder without a body. The only time that they really do, because here's the thing is you have to think about if it goes to trial, they have to be able to present everything that they have in front of a jury, anticipating that they're going to be able to see whatever they have and know beyond a reasonable doubt it was murder.
That is why this case piqued my interest, because although the circumstances surrounding her disappearance weren't very mysterious per se, there wasn't much of a story there. This is the part that gets me. What did they find in her apartment?
We won't even know until after the trial.
I actually don't even know if it was an apartment. It does say Missy's house. But like, what kinds of things could you possibly find? I'm thinking like body parts, but they didn't find a body, so that's not a thing.
It's not a. I'm sure there's
Forensic
blood evidence.
means blood.
blood
or DNA or something.
something of that sort. I mean,
but then digital evidence.
if I have to speculate, well, digital, that one's easy. I mean, do you want me to speculate what my thought here is?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking blood. Digital evidence is probably his phone and her phone both pinging at the residence that night. That's digital.
Oh, I didn't think of, I was thinking like a Ring camera, and I'm like, okay, and then in that case, they would have it on camera.
Or, I mean, even that, what if there was a Ring camera? What if it shows everybody, almost every, not everybody, but like a lot of people have rings or some sort of like thing like that.
Well,
What
and
if
California is like tech country.
yeah, so maybe it is something like that. Maybe they could prove from his phone that he was there that night. Maybe they did see them both go into the house on
But
the
in
Ring
order for
camera and
them to
only
be
him come
able,
out.
if they were able to convict him
They have
beyond reasonable doubt, if they feel confident that they can convict him beyond reasonable doubt, there must have been enough blood that like a human couldn't have survived it. Because if you find blood, that doesn't mean death.
it doesn't mean death, but if you have a missing person,
I
and
guess I'm just
evidence
wondering, like,
to convict them, if he did not murder that person and they're missing, like obviously he's not cooperating.
what if he's just got her stashed away somewhere?
But at this point, if he's facing a murder conviction, don't you think he would tell them?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not. What kind of person is he?
Maybe he's too prideful. Maybe it's a spite thing. Maybe he's more interested in punishing her without regard for the consequences he incurs.
So what are his specific charges? We can cut out whatever we need to on this, but
Murder, no bail.
literally it's just murder, no bail.
Book date 12/8/2021, 4:06 p.m. Wow. So she went missing on the 7th, and he was
That was the next
booked
day.
at 4 p.m. the next day.
They found some real
They
shit at
found
her
some
house.
shit.
Yeah. There's definitely probably blood, and there's definitely him, like digital evidence. I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say that his phone showed that he was there, and her phone showed that she was there, and they probably found blood.
Oh,
I know it's not said in all of this, but also I'm probably assuming something happened earlier in the night that somebody saw
yeah.
to
Called.
suggest that something might have happened.
Freaking crazy, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if I went out, obviously, like, me and my husband don't have an abusive relationship, but if I went out one night and like you didn't talk to me at noon the next day, like you would probably assume that like I was sleeping or cleaning my house. Like
Yes.
it wouldn't be until probably the following day after that, if you still couldn't get a hold of me, that you'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah. If I can't get a hold of you for one day, then that's
You're like,
well,
that's weird.
remember that time when I couldn't get a hold of you for 2 days and I showed up at your house and you were sleeping?
Yes. I was
like, hello, are you okay? Like, yep, I'm just sleeping.
Having a moment there.
Having a moment.
Yeah. I'm assuming if he was like, there was that much shit left, I'm assuming it was probably like a heat of the moment type situation.
Oh yeah, a crime of passion.
I don't think it was a planned thing.
For sure.
But
I don't know. So I do know that Missy's niece Dolly is currently taking care of all of Missy's animals, which, mind you, that's 10 animals. That's 10 animals. And Missy's daughter is obviously being taken care of by family members, and they can handle that. But 10 animals is a lot. So she does have an Amazon wish list for like literally bare minimum, like cat litter and essentials to take care of animals. So we're going to post that link in the show notes. If you guys can buy something on Amazon,
we will definitely be donating.
Yeah,
for sure.
bless that girl's heart, because that is a freaking lot of cats. A lot.
I mean, just animals in general, like
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot to take on. And bless her family for being able to take her daughter.
Mm-hmm. So honestly, I mean, I'm still holding out hope, truth be told. I'm choosing to,
Look at
I
the.
hope that she's out there still alive.
I
I
hope
hope
so
that she
too.
is. I hope that they find her quickly, because it's agonizing,
Well, we're a
especially,
month later almost now, or over a month.
yeah, we're a
A month
little
and a
over
few
a month
days.
now. I'm sure her family is probably feeling the same. Like, what if she's still out there? I mean, unless there's just indisputable evidence, which we probably will never know.
We won't
But
know. I mean, and like I said, unless there's, if it goes to trial, because chances are he might take a plea.
yeah,
So we might not know. I'm sure her family knows though.
yeah,
They just can't say anything right now. And that's why there's just not, the whole story is not available yet. That basically, that's
yeah,
kind of where we're at, is like the whole
yeah.
story is not available. We don't have all the pieces.
So,
But it was a,
obviously, normally we would ask for tips or information leading to the discovery of Missy, but I
well, and
don't think
also in this case, it's like, it's kind of like there's kind of an ending, but there's kind of not.
there's still not an ending, right? She's
There's
still
not an ending.
missing.
She's still missing. Like she's still a missing person. But there's still is also enough evidence that they have somebody
Yeah,
in
it's
jail for her murder. So
interesting. I don't know that I've ever read a story quite like this before.
well,
So there you have it. That is the story of Missy Hernandez. All of the links, all of the things will be in the show notes. Although we can't really do anything to help find her at this point, we can help her niece Dolly take care of those poor little, I was going to say fur babies, but
furless
they're
babies.
hairless cats. So, yeah. All
Well,
right.
you all have a fantastic week.
It's going to be a great week. It is 2022. It's already been so far so good. No complaints, to be honest.
Yeah,
So, looking forward to next week's episode. If you have an idea, shoot it our way and we
as
will
always.
talk to you then.
All right. Bye, guys. Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.